You guys bought it in March of 2023, March 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, how many people from PornHub, employees and executives and directors and VPs, who for sure knows at the time that these types of content was there, have been fired?
So in terms of major personnel changes, so prior to the acquisition, this is probably the biggest one, tells you about a difference in direction. Prior to the acquisition, a few months prior to the acquisition, the previous two owners who were owner-operators, they were the CEO and the COO, they departed the company. Okay? Change was required. The
CEO and who else?
And
the
COO. Right. They were also the minority shareholders of the company.
Were they fired or they were bought and they just stepped away?
They departed prior to the acquisition.
So you guys bought in March. When did they depart?
The summer.
Okay, so 2022.
2022.
June. Okay, I got.
But once again, when we were acquiring the company, we were looking at the executives.
2000, MindGeek, a parent company in Portland, have resigned. Allegations that the site does not immediately or significantly remove content involving non-consensual underage sex. MindGeek confirmed the departures of CEO Ferris Antoon and CEO David Tassilo. Can you see what their background is, Rob? I'm just curious to know what their background was prior to doing this. Okay, so they stepped away June of 2022, resigned, after these stories are kind of getting public.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had their reasons for stepping away. I can tell you that in terms of the executive group, when we evaluated this opportunity, we spent time evaluating the company and the executives, including executives like Alex, but the leadership group. They had really taken the company in a different direction in the years prior, and we wanted them to continue taking the company in that direction, but we wanted to invest in them, to provide them with the resources to do this kind of work, full moderation, full verification of age ID consent of all uploaders and people appearing in content. The company needs to evolve. It needed to evolve, and our view is that under our ownership, they're going to continue to evolve.
So who else do? I mean, I've been in business for many years. You got C-suites, you got VPs, you got directors, you got a lot of people that are involved that know this kind of stuff. So who else that was aware that this kind of stuff existed got fired after you guys bought them?
So I just want to be very clear. It's important to make a distinction here, okay? Every single online platform that allows for user-generated content is going to have criminals who try to exploit it. Facebook is going to have criminals who try to post illegal things for sale, who do post. We're going to post death threats. We're going to post non-consensual intimate imagery. That is the nature of an online platform. It is. Okay. Platforms, of course, need to take reasonable steps to guard against that. We can have a discussion about what those reasonable steps look like. I think our steps that we take today go above and beyond anyone else. That's not to say that in 2020, this company was not taking reasonable steps. That's the subject of litigation. That will get a just outcome one way or another. So I don't want for a moment to leave you with the impression that our view is we look back on this and say, oh, it was just the Wild West back then, because that's not true. Even back then, PornHub was doing moderation, was working with child protection NGOs, was scanning all content against lists of known bad content, but they were grappling with
That's not possible, though, because you're saying you guys removed 8 million pieces of content, right? If you're dealing with moderators.
No, but just to be clear, that doesn't mean those 8 million pieces of content were problematic or illegal or underage at all.
Why would you remove them then?
Because we did not have it was before we acquired the company, because the company did not have the ID of every single one of those uploaders. That's why. So it's important. It's very easy, especially if you come from a position where you want all porn gone. And you saw, even in that article, how these groups are described. Okay, I just want to be very clear. The group that became Trafficking Hub used to be called Morality in Media. And they were protesting against sex shops in New York in the 80s and 90s. So they have an ideological perspective, which is they don't want any porn to exist.
I don't have a problem with that. I actually don't have you have to realize, you're not talking to a guy that is this square guy that I was an atheist till 25. My past friends who know me, they know, but I was an adult that, I'm interested in, whatever I'm consuming. My concern is purely one thing. It's underage.
So then you and I and Alex, we have exactly the same concern.
But there's a difference. I know you say this, and it's like the right thing we have to say. However, this place had underage stuff for many, many years until now. So even when I'm asking a question, it's still not been answered, because I'm still trying to find out how, it's mathematically impossible. How can you get a video to know the person when they shot it wasn't underage to allow that video to be uploaded? I understand you're asking me, for my ID today, but how can you verify? We understand there's deep fake, and that's one side, but how can you be able to authenticate to say, when you shot this, you were over 18? How do you do that?
So there are technological solutions. I'm happy to talk about some of the trust and safety. There are actually ways, whether it's examination of metadata or looking at cues in the video. But at the same time, what a platform has to do is take reasonable steps, okay? Will a criminal, imagine, it's funny, we're in a bank vault today, okay? Imagine you walk into a bank and you say, can you guarantee me that this bank will never be robbed? You say, well, no, we got alarm systems, we got security, we got armed security, we've got, sensors. We're fighting the criminals every single day, okay? The same is true on our platform. We have an extraordinary security system that goes above and beyond. In fact, one of the things that we did as new ownership, and I'd be happy to do this with you or anyone from your team, is we walk people through the back end. We actually show off the trust and safety. We don't show all the alarms. We don't show where all the sensors are, but we show that we are doing more than any other platform to keep it safe. Let's ask Instagram, for example. Okay, Instagram can let you post all kinds of sexy content. They have to have ways of ensuring the age, ID, consent of people appearing. Right? They have to.
There's a difference, though. So, in other words, what I'm getting from you, I asked 3 times now, there is no way to verify at all. There is no 100% proven way to verify if any of the porn that is on PornHub isn't underage at the time that it was shot.
There are many ways to verify.
So
we have humans who watch every video. Let's start there.
But you can watch a video and you won't be able to tell if somebody's under 18 or not.
Of course, you certainly can. You can tell if somebody is well under. You can tell if somebody is of age. We can look at the ID. We can look at the time of upload. We can look at the circumstances of the making of the video.
Mathematically impossible for you to be able to know if at the time that the video was shot, the person was underage. If you tell me there is a software that is known, that the world knows about, that is able to detect it, I will say, great, let's give it credibility. But if everything else is for me to watch and say, guys, I think this is risque, let's not put this one up and let's not approve it, that still makes PornHub the god of deciding if this video was shot at a time where the person was above age or underage.
Well, it's not about being the god. It's about, any kind of reasonable approach to trust and safety means that you must protect the platform. You must keep things that are, let's start with like a spectrum. Clearly unlawful, of course, those go. Then you have ones where we identify risk characteristics, we ask for additional documentation. That's something we do all the time. Mm-hmm. If there are suspicious circumstances about video or ID or documentation, we ask for further documentation. We hold material, we remove material, right? Because as a platform, we have to take reasonable steps. The other side that we haven't discussed here at all, which is essential and very, very different from what was characterized in that New York Times article, is our policy now with respect to removal, which is we have a takedown first, ask questions later approach. Anyone who identifies I'm in this material and either I was not of age or it's non-consensual, we take it down immediately. Which Facebook doesn't do, which Instagram doesn't do.
Okay.
So this idea of holding porn to an impossible standard, I reject that premise.
First of all, you have to realize I'm literally trying to think from compliance standpoint, from a guy who's been in the financial industry since the day before 9/11, build an insurance agency with 60,000 agents, dealing with Department of Insurance and regulators from every single state, because we were in every single state that we had to deal with that, and with FINRA, and with NASD, and with SEC. I dealt with everybody, right? So you have to know how to prevent certain things happening in the financial industry. The real only way to have this being done is there needs to be, while the video is being shot, there needs to be someone saying, before we do this scene, this is what it is. I am at this age. We're shooting it at this age. Here's how old I am, and here's how old he is. I am 22 years old. He is 24 years old. I'm 21 years old. He's 19 years old. This is what's about to happen. Then you could say, yes, 100% we know. And then you have to see, is that ID being verified on an ID website? I got a big announcement to make. The property I'm on right now, we've been working on buying this property for the last 3 years. It's one of its last kind in America. Why? It's on 11 acres. It's got 2 hangars. It's on an airport. Upgrades of $7 million made here. That's going to be the new headquarters of Valuetainment, Media, David Consulting, the podcast. the whole nine. And what we wanted to do, we want to find a way to celebrate this as a new headquarters with inviting you to an event on November 5th, which is election night. A lot of different things people will be talking about, business owners. What's going to happen if it goes this way? What's going to happen if it goes that way? So imagine 2,000 people being here. Let me show you around. Some of you will have a private meeting with me. That's the elite. That's going to be a few of you. Some will get a private tour of the entire office from us. There's a hangar in the back. So you come up here. Imagine there's going to be a couple major tents, 40 feet by 100 feet, where some of the people that are buying general tickets will be there. But over here inside the hangar is where the podcast will be held. This entire thing will be open like it is right now. Inside of it, myself, the PBD podcast crew, some of the super VIPs will be invited to go upstairs in a section that we have that's got a bar, a restaurant, food, kitchen. You're eating, you're watching it from all the way up there while we're doing the podcast down here in the hangar. So imagine in this room, there's 1,000 people, right? While we're going through this whole thing. Conversation, it's going to be from 6 p.m. is when it starts, all the way up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because a lot of things that's going to be going on. And by the way, do you know why we're not cutting this? We're on an airport. These are planes. We have to hear because right here is the airport. And FYI, messy place right there at that stadium right behind us. There's 5 ticket tiers that you can purchase. Each one's got more things to offer. But even locally, there's general tickets to buy for just $75. Bring your wife, bring your husband, bring your family, bring your friends. There's one caveat after you buy the ticket. When you buy the ticket and you come on November 5th, you have to wear Future Looks Bright gear. I'm talking Future Looks Bright hat, a shirt, doesn't matter. You're gonna have to show I got some kind of Future Looks Bright gear because we want everybody here to spread the message and the energy of optimism around the world, back to their states, wherever you're going to be. So November 5th, click on the link above or below, get registered. And if you're watching this saying, well, Pat, I like to travel private. Can I bring my private jet here? 5 of you guys will be after you buy your ticket. Then you can ask us, and that's only available to the tickets at the highest level possible to bring your jet and park it here. So having said that, get your tickets, and I cannot wait to see you November 5th, 6 p.m. at our new headquarters in Fort Lauderdale. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.